Start recording. Hey guys, this is the big group noon call on 2/5. I'm trying to catalog everything so when people watch the recordings, they know what was when. And today is obviously a huge day. It's the last day of this incredible sign-on special. Although for this group, all that really means is we're going to keep reaching out consistently, but it's kind of a very low-hanging fruit. And if we do really mass reach outs today, I think it'll be pretty tough not to sponsor. And the other big glam points end today, double glam points. So I am personally reaching out to all of my past hostesses, and this is something I do anyway. Twice a year when I do my own show, I offer my hostesses a thank you gift for hosting, and I offer them a discount. And so you can't mass market discounts, and you don't want to discount often. You want it to be a very, very rare thing because you don't want to ever devalue your product. You don't want to become like a Gap where people only shop when you have a discount. But every once in a while for very special people, it is nice to give them a little bit of a thank you discount. And basically all I do is I put the discounted amount on my credit card. I do a split payment. You want to run it as a real order because you want it to count for glam points and everything that comes along with it. So that's always an option too. But it's really today, you don't even really need to make it to a target audience. It just reach outs. Like husbands right now, I just posted something on Instagram and Facebook that said this will earn you major guilt-free poker nights and unlimited golf during this beautiful week. Like whatever the guy loves, like remind him doing a little gesture like this, a little fun Valentine's Day present besides chocolate or flowers that they're going to way overpay for, that you are going to make, them look really, really good. So it's all really today about running the numbers. Sponsoring, obviously, top priority. And, Michelle is going to talk a little bit later today. She's going to have an awesome call at 3:00 about how she got to star this month. And it just shows you, she and Amy were both working in the fall, like a lot of other people working towards promotions, and she just missed her goal. Sponsoring made all the difference. Having new on her team made her go from missing her goal to hitting her goal in what is normally considered one of the slower months of the year. So what we do today could change the trajectory of Q1 promotions, really, because I think, like I said, it's really all about getting out there and running the numbers. And one thing I'm going to talk about, Kristi's going to really do a deep dive at 12:15, the amazing Kristi Perras. I'm lucky enough to be pacing with her, and she is going to really share on what you can do today to sponsor. So she is always top 10 in sponsoring. She's going to give you some really great words to say to do that. My part of the call and what I'm going to do with her team is really kind of emphasize, if you have sponsored already this month, really focus on that bring along a friend bonus. I can't, overemphasize, if you talk to your new stylist today and make a really big deal about that $800 shopping spree, they will be so much more likely to do it. So for example, I launched a new stylist on Sunday, and of course, she's brand new, like hadn't even gone to a new stylist training yet. And she had a couple of friends there who were interested, but not ready to sign on the dotted line on Sunday. If I left her alone today, there's no way she would sponsor, because it was just mentioned in passing. We talked about it that day, but I followed up with her first thing this morning and said, oh my gosh, today's the day. This sign-on special is insane. Let's bring along your buddy. I want to make sure you get that extra $800. It's so easy to get. Let's think of a list of, 10 to 20 people. So instead of having her focus on those few that said maybe, she's going to think of 10 to 20 more. And we're going to sit there and talk for 5 minutes and kind of come up with a list of people and be like, I'm going to do all the training for you both, but it just seems kind of crazy to leave $800 on the table. So make sure when you have sponsored this month, you're reaching back out to them. Also reach back out to your team. This is a really great day to do a quick reminder to them and give them some really easy words to say, and maybe a little challenge to reach out to 20 and be like, literally just take this message and send it to 20 people that you think would be fun to do this with. I just had, it's funny, Charlotte and I were laughing last week because we were doing reach outs, to our personal gens, and she's like, I'm not reaching out to someone who hasn't been qualified in the last 30 months or something like that. And then all of a sudden yesterday on my reports, I see a random person in my personal generation pop up. I click on it. I don't even know her sponsor's name, never heard of her. the sponsor hasn't been qualified for the past 81 months. I was like, how many years is that? I was like, that is like, she must have signed up right after me. So so randomly, you have no idea who is still a stylist somewhere on your downline who might have someone who might want to do this. So it might even be worth like tagging some of the old stylists in a post about the opportunity and making it public. I definitely think I've gotten a lot of exposure after I copied Victoria, who said that she has been making all of her Sell and Dot posts public now. And I probably have had 20 to 30 friend requests in the past couple of weeks. So I guess a lot of more people are seeing those public posts than I kind of gave credit for. So that's another way to kind of get your message out there. So it's the 5th. It's only noon. We've got tons of time. 2 things I did this morning. I sat down for 45 minutes. If you can block off 45 minutes today, literally just plow through your list, whether it is the people on Facebook Messenger, whether it is previous hostesses, whether it is your Q4 customers, just find a list, whether it's your A to Z and you're going to take the time and come up with your A to Z, who do you know list, just run the numbers today. Message short, sweet, and we've got a bunch of examples on the thread. But if you talk to people today, you will see some momentum. I'm going to I think that might be Janine in the background. I know she's at work. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes before Kristi gets on. So let's talk logistics. So a lot of you are coming off of January and you might say, oh my gosh, my January didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be. I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And I want you all that haven't necessarily been doing this for a long time to understand kind of how momentum works. So I mentioned this in my, email that I sent out, but this is the nature of this business. Like when you start applying the effort, it doesn't always come right away. Sometimes it comes right away and you might look at the other people who are signing up 7, 8, 9 people and you're like, what the heck? I can't even get one. And I promise you, it happens all the time for all of us. Sometimes they come in like that and sometimes they don't, but everything you're doing right now, if you are taking actions, it will come to fruition, I promise. It builds like a snowball. So the more you're doing, if you keep applying the effort, if you apply a little bit of effort and then stop because you're not getting results, then it's not going to come. It's not like a teeny little bit of effort and the momentum will build. It is the constant, consistent effort. And after this call, I'm going to do a call with time management. And I'm going to talk about all the different ways that you can fit this in, but you can really focus on your high value activities. You can focus on the things. So like today, we're only doing 4 Zoom calls because today's all about less thinking, more doing, more actions. Just action, 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 action. Go outside your comfort zone. Reach out to those people. Don't just follow up with the ones you've already reached out to. Shoot to reach out to 40 more today. Do the whole alphabet, 26 for people you've never even thought of reaching out to. Just run the numbers because it really is kind of a more of just doing and less thinking about it. But what I want you to take away is this group in and of itself, the Zoom, I think, is where it's at. So if you haven't had time to get on the Zoom, I would absolutely get on if you can, if you're not at work. If you have a flexible schedule, I highly recommend, I'm going to mute a couple of you because there's a little bit of background noise. I highly recommend making Tuesday your office day. So I know a lot of you that I've been talking to have flexible schedules. They actually could be home, but you might be choosing to make this your doctor's appointment day or running around or going to the grocery store or whatever else. Like I have learned a ton over the last 3 weeks on the Zoom calls. It's not just me leading. It is all of us leading together. We've got some amazing guest speakers today. Liz is going to talk and Michelle is going to talk. And of course, we have Kristi talking at 12:15. So I'm doing my best to feature as many different people who are doing extraordinary things so that you get the entire point of this group is for you to get ideas and training from people who are doing something well. And we all have things that go well from time to time, and then we have other things that we need to work on. And so hopping on and using that as the coaching time, like that is what the coaching time is for. The coaching time is on the Zooms. So even if you're watching it afterwards, I was talking to Lori Fetterman earlier, and I said to her, it is, she has a long drive to work to and from work. And I'm like, just play them. Like literally have all the Zoom links ready to go in the email. Just hit play. And as you're driving, don't watch anything. and just listen, because you will absorb it all and you'll get a lot of ahas that way. So if you've already gotten to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, the thread's overwhelming, Marco Polo's overwhelming, those are just icing on the cake. That's not where the good stuff is. The good stuff is happening in the Zooms where we all get to ask questions and strategize together and grow our businesses that way. So really use these calls and these relationships. Feel free to, find some fun pacing partners and that sort of thing as well. But whether or not you hit your January goal is completely beside the point. Like, this is not about pass or fail. This is about people who have similar goals, people who have similar work ethics, people who want to grow big and who are going to pace together. So, what I love, Jen's story used an analogy yesterday with the weather. She's like, do you know that we've had a 90-degree shift in weather in the past day? So if in one day, temperature went 90 degrees in the opposite direction. And she said, you know what, that's kind of like our business. At any point, your business can shift from here to here. It can absolutely move with effort. So it's all about, I want you to ask yourself, if you maybe didn't have the January you wanted, is it from just the momentum is still building and it's going to come? Or is it you could have done something different with your effort? Because I do this all the time to myself. By the way, the 3 people I've sponsored so far have all been for my pop-ups. My sales stunk at my pop-ups. I did not qualify those shows. I had a really good sample sale and new line launch, but it was the pop-up. So I tried something new. And now I've got to book up my February shows because I've got one online and one in person right now because I had another one cancel. So I've got to make sure I get those 2 extra shows, if not more, for February. So just constantly look at your business and figure out what you can tweak and what you can do better. That is really all it takes. It's not beating yourself up or once you get knocked down, not getting back up again. It's about brushing yourself off. Next month is here and taking those consistent actions. And at the 12:30 call, we'll break down kind of the systems that I use to make sure I get everything on my to-do list done, because I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. and my head was just racing with everything that I had to do today. And I could let all those ideas and thoughts overwhelm me and paralyze me, or I can just take a deep breath, sit down, write down everything that's going through my head, write down everything I need to get done, and then slowly start crossing things off the list and do them one at a time, one foot in front of the other. So just remember, if you are feeling right now, gosh, there's so much to do today, one thing at a time. It is not about trying to get it all done. It's about getting as much done as you can and knocking things off the list as you do it. And don't let the fear or the feeling of overwhelmingness, if that's a word, keep you from taking action, because we are all in the end just putting our head down and doing the work, and inspiring each other to keep doing so. So I am thrilled to be part of this group. I'm excited to celebrate everybody at the end of the 6 months, who sticks with it and who engages in the Zoom calls or who watches the recordings, who paces and keeps their best effort. It's not about whether you reach your goals every single month. It's about whether you're trying to reach your goals every month and whether you're, consistently applying the effort and giving it your all, because that's really all we can do. So let me see if Kristi is messaging me. Hopefully she is getting ready to get on, and I've got to get on hers. I'm going to leave this computer screen up because I'm scared it'll stop recording. Okay, so there's Kristi. Hey. All right, I'm going to go. Kristi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go. Did you message me your link?
I did.
Okay, perfect. I will go get that right now, and I'll hop on your call, and I'm just going to walk in the other room and leave this going so that it doesn't stop recording. So thank you. Y'all have fun. Okay, bye guys.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kelly. I'm going to do the same thing. Can you guys hear me? Hang on. What's going on? The video stopped. Charlotte can hear me. I'm in safe driving mode somehow. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Okay. Hi, guys. Happy last day of the sign up special. So I'm going to talk to you guys about something that I love. Sponsoring is one of the things that I love to do the most. And Let me
Okay,
just
really
make
quick,
sure.
Kristi, so sorry to interrupt. I'm going to yours and it's saying sign in to start. Is your meeting still going?
My meeting's still going. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
it's
weird.
the one
Okay,
ending in okay. The one ending in 6031.
hang on. Sorry, guys. Let me just
I want to make sure.
6031, you're in the spot. Maybe I sent you the wrong link. Hang on.
Yeah, because it's saying if you're the meeting host, sign in to start. Thanks for the technical patience, guys. This is like Victoria and
Okay,
I.
so if I'm in my Zoom account, find the link to send you. My meetings.
I mean, I'm doing the one that you sent with the 3134226031, and I'm clicking on it. For some reason, it's saying.
Still not working?
No, I don't know why. Shoot.
Okay.
Can you try texting it to me real quick? Text to my cell phone.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay,
Go back
sounds good.
over. Okay, bye.
Do I have your cell phone?
I think so. It's 804.
Hang on one sec.
Okay.
Okay, what is it?
804.
804. Yeah.
357.
Yep.
1299.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see if it works that way.
Okay, let me know if that works. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. We thought this was a brilliant idea. Okay, hang on. Okay, let me know if that works, Kelly. Okay, in the meantime, I don't want to start talking about sponsoring if I'm going to have to help troubleshoot this again. But does anyone have a sponsoring story they want to share that has happened?
Good or bad,
Kelly,
Kristi?
What's that?
I said a good or a bad
Hey,
story, like a question or a toot your horn.
Yeah, toot your horn. Either one. Look at you're so blinged out today. You look so great. I love that outfit.
Thank you. This is the tank, the Erica tank, because I've worn the long sleeve so much that I have to throw it in the washer. I'm going on the call later with Colleen, so I wanted to make sure I looked like a human today. I've been sick for like 48 hours. No, so mostly tooting my horn for my team. My girls are kicking it. I have 4 girls who have sponsored, and one of them is the first time sponsor.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. So tooting their horns all day long. Say it again.
Oh, I just said we're going to hear about that. How you're doing that on Tips from the Top today?
I'm talking about the group hello today, but sure, why not? I'll throw that in there too.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Congratulations. So good. Okay, guys. Well, I saw that Kelly got, can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Is it your connection or mine that's like glitching? Is anyone else glitching?
I don't know. I just moved, so that might have been it.
Me.
But can you guys hear me right now? Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to get going then. And because I saw Kelly pop up on my Zoom, which is awesome. They can hear me fine. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys hopefully some tips that will help you guys sponsor today, whether you have sponsored or you haven't sponsored yet under this sign up special. I feel like I'll tell you why I think this is such a great time to sponsor. And I know all of the women in this group, you guys want more from your business. You want to earn more this year. You want to have a bigger team. You want to grow. And to do that, to do all of those things, we need to sponsor, not only during sign up months, but consistently. So I was actually just talking to my group about how like the intensity we've had reaching out these last 5 weeks or 4 weeks of the sign up special, we just don't want that all to end today. You want to kind of keep doing what you've been doing the last 4 weeks with your sponsoring efforts and continue that past the sign up special. but hopefully I'll leave you with a few tips that will help you guys actually sponsor today, or help your team sponsor today, or help you sponsor even more if you haven't. So for anybody that you have maybe thought of that you haven't yet reached out to, like even if you haven't, even if you haven't done any reach outs, which I know this group you guys all have, but I don't think it's too late to start a sponsoring conversation today. Okay. So, and that could just be something as simple as call me crazy. We have an amazing sign up special ending today. I'm doing big things with my business this year, and I think it'd be amazing to do it with you. Like, what do you think? Have you ever thought about doing something like this? You know, just keeping it short and sweet and casual, but letting them know that you are thinking of them and maybe complimenting them as well. But that can be with anybody new that you haven't even reached out to yet. Just send them something personal, send them something casual, give them a compliment. Maybe it's like, maybe you take a selfie in something gorgeous that you love from the new line, and like, hey, I'm having so much fun with this new spring line. Like, you have to come do this business with me. Like, it could be, but just send something, you know, and that would be to anybody new that you haven't yet reached out to. Now, for all the people that you've reached out to, so I want to know, like, let's just say you've reached out to 40 people in the last 4 weeks, okay? And of those 40 people, you've offered them all the opportunity to join your team. You've sent them some sort of reach out. Now, let's just say because of numbers, you know, maybe you've heard back from like a few of them who said no immediately, but the ones that you haven't heard back from, or people that have not yet said no to you. So, and this is going to be your challenge, because I think there's low-hanging fruit in the reach outs we've already done. And my challenge to you is to go back today, and I would send them all a quick little message. And the message could be, I would send it as a voice note or a video message. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on Instagram stories, like when you do a hands-free story, it will, this is what it used to be. So it used to be the 15 seconds and then it would cut off, and you could just save a 15-second video message of yourself. So now you don't need to go into Instagram stories to do that story. But just take a quick, like, try to keep it to like under 30 seconds tops, but take a video of yourself sending messages, and let that be the follow-up message that you send to them. And if you haven't yet heard a response from you, guaranteed, or from them, guaranteed, if you send a video message, you'll hear a response from them. And I would say something like this, like, hey Liz, it's Kristi again. Are you sick of hearing from me yet? The reason I'm reaching out to you again is because our sign-up special is ending today, and girl, you'd rock this business, and I would love to help you get started. I'm gonna send you my link right now, but I wanna know, are you ready to jump in? And if you are, what's the one thing holding you back from signing up today? And then I'd send that message and just replicate it. But guys, that is my next kind of tip. So my first tip is send messages out to new people. My second tip is send like a video or audio message to all the people you've previously followed up with. And then my third tip is, especially for those who you know are like 95% of the way there, but you just need to seal the deal, is to ask them, what's the one thing holding you back from signing up right now? And then if you're going to ask them that, you might need to get them on the phone for 5 minutes to do it. Or if you're communicating over Messenger, but I often find there's one thing, right? Like, people are a bit afraid, and it's either time or it's the money, or although we've made it so easy now with our, you know, with PayPal and with like the 6-month delayed payment thing, like there's so many different ways that like we can help people with their fears about what the biggest thing is. And then we're just kind of saying to them, I felt that way too, or you're, you know, using feel, felt, found to help them over whatever their objection is. You guys have the tools to do that. And what I have found is that if you can get someone on the phone today, the last day of the sign up special, and you can ask them that question, what's the one thing holding you back from signing up today? and they can hear in your voice how you're going to be there to help support them through whatever their fear is, they'll sign up and join your team today. And once you've had the chance to acknowledge their fear and let them know, like, I got you, boo, I've got your back, I'm going to help you through this, let me send you the link to join. Like, you know, or like, are you ready to take advantage of it now? So those are my tips. Do you guys have any questions for me? Let me look at the
Kristi,
chat.
do you have that little blurb in a typed up that you could send out to us?
What blurb? I can
Sorry,
write
you
up
did
a blurb for you.
The one right before the last one. I started to write it down and then I couldn't write fast enough. That you do in the follow up.
Okay, so
the video
like,
message follow up.
Yeah, so I can write something up for you, but it basically says something like, hey, Liz, I know you've been thinking about signing up during our sign up special. I still think you'd be amazing at this. What's the one thing holding you back from signing up today? Like, or, you know, depending on where your conversations are, but I can definitely like send something over for sure. Anybody else?
Hey, Kristi.
That's fine. Thank you for repeating that.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Kristi. My name's Liz as well. There are two Liz's on this team. So a lot of my reach out responses have come back with, it's not the right time. Now's not a good time for me. And, you know, I try to, you know, okay, great. You know, take your time. I'm here if you have questions, but I want to follow up with them today. And I'm, you know, what do I say? I know you said it's not the right time, but like, what's the respectful way to come back to something like that without sounding too pushy?
Yeah, so I would almost say that, like, I know you said this isn't the right time, but I can't let today go by without letting you know one more time, like without you hearing from me one last time. Your baby's so cute. But without you hearing from me one last time before the sign up special ends. And then, you know, I'd maybe use that little obstacle thing. Like if timing wasn't, I'd maybe say something like, if timing wasn't the issue, is there anything else holding you back from signing up today? It's almost like just getting really curious with them. And then sometimes I say to people, it's a little bit like the hard truth, but it's like, timing will never be right. There will always be something in your life that will give you the reason not to. So I wonder if there's anything else holding you back from joining today. And if not, like, try to book a trunk show with them, because then I feel like, you know, if you can get a show with them, then they'll maybe see like how much fun it is and all of that kind of stuff. But does that help?
Sorry, yeah, I was on mute. Yes, it does help. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good. That's good. I appreciate your words. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, does anyone else have any? Oh, your baby's adorable. So cute. Does anyone else have any questions or anything I can help with? Okay, well, was someone gonna ask something there? Okay, then I think what I'm gonna do is leave you guys with a challenge sorry, let me just look at my notes here. Okay, yeah, so my challenge to you guys is to ask your potentials who you think were ready to sign up that question, like that overcoming obstacles question. What's the one thing holding you back from signing up right now? And to send as many voice notes and or like a voice note message or a video recorded message to your, you know, everybody you've reached out to by the end of the day. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but I promise you it will be worth it to do that. So you guys up for the challenge? Hopefully most of you guys are muted. Awesome.
Kristi,
okay, well,
one more question.
Of course. Hi, Charlotte.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
My question is do you have any tips on balancing, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, how to balance, taking advantage of the sign up special today, but making sure that they're actually going to launch and they're not just signing up for the deal, if maybe it would actually be better for them to wait until another month or two.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes
while you're having that conversation with them and working through what might be holding them back, do you say anything like, if we can find a date for you to do your launch, within the next 30 days? I find that I struggle with how to make sure it actually really can be worth it for them and not also scare them off.
For sure. And I think that's part of this. This actually kind of goes back to Liz's question about, people saying it's not the right time. Is that, and this is why it's important to try to get them on the phone today for 5 minutes. I mean, that could even be your follow-up. Do you have 5 minutes to chat today? Something really important I want to run by you, or something really important to talk to you about. My point here is just send the message, whether it's a voice note, a video, or trying to get them on the call. You really want to be connecting with them again. But if it was I'm not sure it's the right time, here's what we know. We know that if someone actually signs up and does a launch party and sells 1,000, there are so many benefits to that is what I try to get people to envision when we're having that overcoming obstacle conversation. So if I ask them that question, they let me know that time is their thing. And I say, well, what if we could find 1 2-hour window in the next 30 days where you gather your girlfriends together? Do you think you could see yourself doing that? So I get them visualizing what having their launch party would be like, and if they can actually have it in the next 30 days. And often, Liz Jackson, sometimes they'll be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm way too busy to find 2 hours in the next 30 days. You'll be able to tell by the way they have thought about it that they're either ready to commit and jump in, or they're really far away. And Charlotte, to your point, timing might be better to revisit when the new getaway bag comes out in March, or the new summer line comes out. Because I literally, unless someone is no, do not contact me again, I literally follow up with people at least quarterly. There's always a reason to follow up with them. But walking people through envisioning how they can launch, sometimes I'll say to them, okay, so I'll actually say to them, before they sign up, when will be your show? So they kind of get that scheduled, because if they don't have a show launched, or they're not in a position where they're actually going to go through with it, Charlotte, to your point, maybe it is better for them to wait a few months versus pushing them to do it and just take advantage of the sign up special, right? So I don't know if that helps, but I definitely try within the conversation to get them thinking about when their launch is versus just signing up for the sake of signing up,
Yeah, thanks. That definitely helps. And I like your wording of painting, or, kind of painting a picture for them of what the launch is, because
why
they don't know.
They don't know, but also leading with the benefits of why they want to do the launch, in the first 30 days. Because if you can walk them through, okay, yeah, the sign up special is $99 for 500, but if you sell 1,000, you will also get $250 in commission. You'll earn, how much is it in product credit? So much in product credit, because if that show is their double dip show, that's another $200, $250 in product credit there, plus the quick start bonus and jump start, but it's another it's almost $1,000. It's over $1,000 in product credit, right? So I don't have the math in front of me, but you guys know where I'm going with this. It's painting the picture of why it's important for them to get to 1,000 in 30 days, and that you're going to help them through that, by suggesting how they can launch with a show and all of that kind of stuff. But I definitely feel that the visualization piece of it has been something that over the last few years I've worked into my conversation so that you're kind of managing the expectation of how they're going to launch, you know, from your end, but also setting them up for success, which is what we all want, right? We want people to get a taste of what it feels like to get to 1,000, and then they start feeling like, I can do this, and look at all the things that came back at me, and it'll keep them going.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Okay, awesome. All right, anybody else before we sign off? Do you guys normally have your calls end at 12:30? Yes, okay. All right, well then I'm gonna sign off. This was so much fun. I'm cheering you guys all on. If anybody sponsors today with one of my tips, will you message me on Facebook and let me know? Okay, bye guys. Have an awesome day.
Bye. Thanks, Kristi.
I'm just gonna like leave the chat, and then I guess you guys will still be open because I'm not sure if Kelly's gonna come back or not, but if you guys want to stick around, you can, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Hi, Kristi. I think, are we supposed to have one at 12:30 also?
Yeah, I think Kelly's gonna come back because she was gonna do 12:30 to 1.
Okay. About productivity, right?
Yes.
Charlotte, I'm glad you asked that question because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't want to be insensitive, but also, like, how do you genuinely get the answer from them? You know?
Yeah. It's definitely like a balance, and also, you know, you don't want to like be selling the sign up special as, hey, this is a great way to get a good deal on a ton of product. Like, you want to set them up to really launch and be successful, but it's also that balance of like, if their hesitation and fear is that they feel busy and they're worried that it's going to be too much of a time commitment, you don't want to like come on too strong about that, but then you don't want to like downplay it too much. It's like, you have to like strike it just right.
Hey guys, we're about to get cut
Well,
off.
I think